Welcome back to the channel. Today we will explore a very important topic for health. How eating at the wrong time may silently sabotage your immune system. We often talk about what to eat: more greens, less sugar, healthy fats, fewer processed snacks. But there's another piece of the nutrition puzzle that doesn't get nearly enough attention: the timing of our meals. Did you know that the immune system operates on a schedule? That it wakes up, becomes more active, or slows down at different times of the day? Just like our sleep cycle, our immune function is deeply tied to our circadian rhythm, the internal 24-hour clock that governs almost everything in our body, from hormone release to digestion to cell repair. Yet in today's world, we often eat at erratic times, skipping breakfast, grabbing late-night snacks, or eating heavy dinners close to bedtime. These habits may seem harmless, but science is now uncovering that meal timing plays a crucial role in immune regulation, gut health, inflammation control, and even susceptibility to illness. Here's a surprising fact. A 2020 study published in Nature Reviews Immunology found that disruption of circadian rhythms can alter immune cell activity, leading to chronic inflammation and reduced ability to fight infections. That's why today, we're diving deep into how the timing of your meals affects your body's natural defenses, and how aligning your eating schedule with your body clock can help you live healthier and stronger. If you find this content helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to Daily Energy to see more health-focused videos. And in the comments, tell us, do you often skip breakfast or eat late at night? Have you noticed any changes in your energy or digestion? We'd love to hear your story. Part 1. What is meal timing? Meal timing refers to when you eat your meals throughout the day, including when you eat your first meal, breakfast, the spacing between meals. When you eat your last meal, whether you eat at the same time daily or not. For decades, nutrition science has focused more on calories in versus calories out, macronutrients, and diet types: keto, vegan, paleo, etc. But emerging research in chrononutrition, the study of how food timing affects health, shows that eating at the wrong time can negatively affect metabolism, sleep, and immune strength, even if your diet is clean. Why? Because your digestive organs, immune cells, and hormones all follow a 24-hour rhythm. When you eat out of sync with that rhythm, say skipping meals in the morning but binging late at night, you throw off the body's natural timing for digestion and immune function. Part 2. How the immune system works with time. Think of your immune system as a team of security guards. Some are on duty during the day, while others take over at night. Timing is everything for them to be alert, coordinated, and effective. During the day, your body is in alert mode. Digestion, movement, and surveillance are heightened. White blood cells patrol more actively, scanning for pathogens. At night, while you sleep, your immune system shifts into repair and regeneration. Inflammation is controlled. Damaged cells are cleared out. Gut bacteria go through their own rhythm of growth and rest. But if you throw in a heavy, late meal during that downtime, say eating pizza or ice cream at midnight, you may be interrupting the immune system's night shift. One study in the Journal of Clinical Investigation showed that late-night eating suppresses melatonin, the sleep hormone, which also helps regulate inflammation. It also reduces the activity of natural killer NK cells, key immune defenders that seek out viruses and abnormal cells. In other words, eating at the wrong time can confuse your immune system, reducing its ability to do its job. Part 3. The gut-immune clock connection. Your gut and immune system are best friends. In fact, nearly 70% of your immune cells live in the gut lining, making your digestive tract the first line of defense against bacteria, viruses, and toxins. And just like your brain and skin, your gut has its own clock. According to research published in Cell Host and Microbe, the gut lining follows a circadian rhythm that affects enzyme secretion, nutrient absorption, intestinal barrier strength, gut microbiota balance. When you eat erratically, your gut clock becomes disrupted, leading to poor digestion, weakened immunity, and increased inflammation. Have you ever noticed bloating, discomfort, or fatigue after eating late or skipping meals? That's not just indigestion. It could be a signal that your gut is struggling to keep up. Late-night eating can increase intestinal permeability, also called leaky gut, allowing unwanted substances to pass into the bloodstream and triggering immune overreactions. Part 4. The rise of inflammation. One of the biggest dangers of eating at the wrong time is the silent rise of inflammation in the body. Chronic low-grade inflammation is a leading contributor to autoimmune conditions, allergies, type 2 diabetes, obesity, heart disease. Meal timing plays a big role here. Studies show that eating outside your natural rhythm can increase levels of C-reactive protein, CRP, a marker of inflammation. A study in obesity, 2017, found that participants who ate late dinners after 9 p.m. had higher blood sugar and insulin levels overnight, compared to those who ate earlier, even when the same foods were consumed. Another study in Frontiers in Immunology found that irregular meal timing disrupts the secretion of cortisol, the stress hormone, which in turn increases inflammation and weakens immunity. Part 5. Meal timing in real life. Let's look at a real-life example. Sarah, a busy 34-year-old marketing professional in Austin, Texas. She usually skips breakfast, grabs coffee at 10 a.m., eats a quick lunch at her desk around 2 p.m., and then has her biggest meal, often takeout or pasta, at 9 or 10 p.m., sometimes with a glass of wine. Sarah isn't eating unhealthy by traditional standards, but she often feels tired, bloated, and gets colds every few months. Her routine reflects a common pattern among many working adults in the U.S., eating late due to stress, skipping meals due to meetings, and then trying to relax with a heavy dinner. But this pattern may be silently weakening her gut, disrupting her immune rhythm, and increasing inflammation, all without her realizing it. Part 6. The science of time-restricted eating. One solution? Time-restricted eating, TREE, a simple approach where you eat all your meals within a set window, typically 8 to 12 hours during the day. This isn't a strict fast or a diet. It's a strategy to align your eating with your body clock. Studies show that early time-restricted eating, e.g., eating between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m., improves immune markers, supports weight regulation, and reduces inflammation. One 2022 study in Cell Metabolism found that participants who practiced TRE for 10 weeks showed improved T-cell function, a key immune cell, and lower inflammation, even without changing the types of food they ate. Part 7. Key takeaways from Section 1. Here's what we've uncovered today. Your immune system follows a circadian rhythm, just like sleep. Eating at irregular or late hours disrupts this rhythm, reducing immune efficiency. The gut, which houses most immune cells, is especially vulnerable to poor meal timing. Inflammation increases when you eat out of sync with your internal clock. You don't have to overhaul your diet. Just shifting when you eat can make a big difference. In the next section, we'll go deeper into the science of circadian rhythm and digestion, and how your body clock is wired to protect and repair you if you let it. Don't forget to hit the like button if you learned something new today. Comment below. Have you tried changing your meal timing? What changes did you notice in your energy or digestion? And subscribe to Daily Energy for weekly videos that help you live strong, naturally. Section 2. Circadian rhythm and digestion. How your body clock regulates immune strength and what happens when it's ignored. In the last section, we explored how poor meal timing, especially eating late or irregularly, can silently weaken your immune system. Now let's go one layer deeper and understand why this happens by unpacking the incredible power of your body's internal clock, the circadian rhythm. Part 1. What is the circadian rhythm? The circadian rhythm is a 24-hour internal timekeeping system that governs many vital functions in the human body, including sleep-wake cycles, hormone secretion, digestion, and nutrient metabolism, immune response, body temperature, cellular repair. This rhythm is primarily regulated by the suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN, a cluster of about 20,000 neurons in the hypothalamus, which responds to light and dark signals. When the sun rises, your SCN signals the body to wake up, increase alertness, and prepare for food intake. At night, It tells the body to rest, repair, and shut down digestive and metabolic functions. But here's the twist. Every major organ in your body also has its own peripheral clock. This includes your liver, pancreas, stomach, and even your gut microbiome. These clocks communicate with the master clock in the brain, but are also influenced by external cues like food timing. That means eating at the wrong time can confuse your body's clocks, and that confusion can impact everything from digestion to immune function. Part 2. Digestion follows a daily rhythm. Your digestive system isn't always on. It performs best when it follows a natural daily cycle. In the morning, stomach acid production increases, making digestion of proteins and fats more efficient. Insulin sensitivity peaks, which means your body handles carbs better. Gut motility is stronger, allowing better movement of food through the intestines. In the evening, stomach acid drops, reducing digestive power. Metabolism slows down as your body prepares for rest. Insulin sensitivity declines, leading to higher blood sugar spikes after meals. Gut permeability increases, potentially allowing toxins or undigested particles into the bloodstream. If you eat a heavy meal late at night, your body is not only less capable of digesting it efficiently, it's also more likely to generate inflammation and immune stress in response. A study published in Nature Communications showed that eating late disrupts the expression of over 20% of circadian genes in the liver and digestive organs, which can throw off metabolic balance and immune function. Part 3. Circadian rhythm and immune system synchronization. The immune system is one of the most rhythmically driven systems in the body. White blood cells, T cells, cytokines, and other immune messengers rise and fall based on the time of day. For instance, T-cell response is stronger in the morning. Natural killer NK cells are more active at night. Pro-inflammatory cytokines peak during sleep, which supports tissue repair. When your circadian rhythm is aligned, immune cells are synchronized and efficient. But when disrupted by shift work, late eating, or inconsistent meal times, this balance breaks down. A 2021 study in Trends in Immunology highlighted how circadian disruption leads to immune dysregulation, including increased baseline inflammation, reduced antibody response, impaired ability to fight infections. That means eating out of sync with your natural rhythm isn't just a digestive issue, it's an immune vulnerability. Part 4. Chrononutrition, the science behind timing your meals. Enter the growing field of chrononutrition, the study of how food timing impacts health. Chrononutrition shows that the same meal eaten at different times can produce very different effects. Eating earlier in the day leads to better glucose regulation, digestion, and immune signaling. Eating later in the day increases fat storage, raises blood sugar, and activates inflammatory pathways. For example, a 2019 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that people who ate breakfast had lower levels of inflammatory markers and better immune cell profiles compared to those who skipped breakfast and ate more at night, even if total calories were the same. Another study in Frontiers in Nutrition found that time-restricted feeding improved gut microbiota diversity and lowered inflammatory markers in overweight adults. Part 5. Real-life scenarios of circadian disruption. Let's look at two familiar lifestyles and how they impact immune health through circadian disruption. 1. The night owl office worker. Wakes up at 9 o'clock a.m. First meal, coffee and muffin, at 11 o'clock a.m. Skips lunch or eats at 3 p.m. Has dinner at 9:30 p.m. Sleeps at 1 o'clock a.m. This pattern may lead to poor insulin sensitivity, higher overnight inflammation, disrupted melatonin and cortisol rhythms, increased susceptibility to colds and gut issues. 2. The early riser with routine wakes at 6:30 a.m. Eats breakfast at 7:30 a.m., oats, fruit, protein. Has lunch at 12:30 p.m. Eats dinner before 7 o'clock p.m. In bed by 10 o'clock p.m. This pattern supports strong immune rhythm, efficient digestion, better sleep quality, reduced inflammation. Part 6. The link to gut microbiome. Your gut bacteria aren't just passive residents, they're dynamic, and they follow a rhythm too. Studies show that the composition and function of gut microbiota shift across the day and night. When you eat at regular times, beneficial microbes flourish. But when you eat late, especially sugary or fatty foods, it disrupts this cycle. This leads to growth of pathogenic bacteria, reduced microbial diversity, inflammation and leaky gut, weakened immune barrier. A study in Cell Host and Microbe found that meal timing was as influential as food type in shaping the gut microbiome. In simple terms, when you eat influences which bacteria thrive, and those bacteria influence your immunity. Part 7. Actionable takeaways from Section 2. Let's bring all this science into practical steps you can use. Eat with the sun. Try to align your meals with daylight hours, starting breakfast within 1 to 2 hours of waking and finishing dinner before sunset, or at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. Be consistent. The body loves routine. Try to eat at roughly the same times each day. This keeps your internal clocks synchronized. Front-load calories. Have a more substantial breakfast and lunch, and keep dinner light. Your metabolism is strongest in the first half of the day. Avoid late-night meals. Eating after 8 o'clock p.m. occasionally is fine, but frequent late-night snacking increases inflammation and reduces immune strength. Let your gut rest. Allow at least 12 hours of overnight fasting between dinner and breakfast. This gives your digestive system time to heal and reset. Recap of Section 2. In this section, we explored the powerful relationship between circadian rhythm and digestion, and how that rhythm directly influences immune function. Your body is not meant to digest food around the clock. Eating in sync with your internal clock improves digestion, energy, and immunity. Disrupting your circadian rhythm through poor meal timing can raise inflammation, weaken gut health, and increase illness risk. Consistency and early eating patterns support your immune system at the root. Up next in Section 3, we'll explore the real damage of late-night eating. Why those midnight snacks may feel comforting but are actually working against your immune system. If you're finding value in these insights, please consider sharing this video with a friend or family member who might benefit. Section 3. Night eating and immune suppression. Why late meals quietly compromise your body's defense system. In our last section, we explored how your body follows a natural rhythm, your circadian clock, and how that clock impacts digestion, metabolism, and immunity. Now we're going to zero in on one of the most common and misunderstood habits: eating late at night. Let's be honest. How often do we snack while watching Netflix, grab a midnight bite while finishing work, or eat dinner well after 8 p.m.? In a culture where busy schedules and convenience often rule, late-night eating has become normalized. But while this habit might seem harmless, science tells us something different. Regular night eating suppresses immune function, damages gut health, and heightens inflammation. And worst of all, these effects are usually silent. You may not feel anything immediately, but over time, the consequences build up. Part 1. What counts as night eating? Let's define what we mean by night eating. It includes eating your largest meal after 8 o'clock p.m., having calorie-rich snacks close to bedtime, chips, desserts, leftovers, drinking caloric beverages, alcohol, sweet drinks, lattes at night, midnight meals or snacking between 10 o'clock p.m. and 2 a.m. The occasional late meal won't ruin your health, but when this becomes a daily or weekly pattern, it can throw off your internal systems. Part 2. How night eating affects the immune system. Your immune system has a schedule. During the evening, it shifts into a more repair-focused mode. Inflammatory cytokines are dialed down. Melatonin, your sleep hormone, increases. Cellular repair processes begin. But eating at this time sends a conflicting signal. It triggers wakefulness, digestion, and metabolic activation, essentially waking your body back up when it's trying to wind down. Here's how that harms your immunity. Suppresses melatonin. Eating late, especially heavy meals, can suppress melatonin production. Melatonin isn't just for sleep. It also acts as a powerful anti-inflammatory and immune modulator. Without enough melatonin, your body's nighttime healing process is weakened. Increases cortisol at the wrong time. Late eating can increase cortisol, your stress hormone, at night. Elevated nighttime cortisol is linked to immune suppression and sleep disruption. Reduces natural killer NK cell activity. Natural killer cells are essential immune defenders that scan your body for viruses and abnormal cells. Their activity peaks at night during sleep. But late meals can reduce their function, according to studies in Chronobiology International. Part 3. The gut night shift. At night, your gut needs rest. Its functions shift from digestion to barrier maintenance, microbiota balancing, and immune signaling. But when you eat late, the gut lining stays open longer, increasing risk of leaky gut. Bad bacteria feed on late-night sugars and carbs, disturbing microbiome balance. Inflammatory responses rise as gut immune signaling is disrupted. This sets the stage for long-term issues like increased food sensitivities, autoimmune flare-ups, bloating and fatigue, higher risk of infections. A study in Cell Reports found that mice fed during their rest phase developed higher levels of inflammation and intestinal permeability, even when calorie intake was controlled. Part 4. Night eating and inflammation. When your body receives food at night, especially fatty, sugary, or processed foods, it responds with an inflammatory surge. That's because late meals are harder to metabolize. Insulin sensitivity is low, so blood sugar stays elevated longer. Triglycerides rise, increasing cardiovascular strain. Inflammatory cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha increase, which suppress immunity. This post-meal inflammation becomes worse at night due to your body's natural lower capacity for handling food. In one clinical trial published in Nutrients, participants who ate the same meal at 10 o'clock p.m. versus 6 o'clock p.m. showed higher inflammatory markers and greater blood sugar spikes in the late group, even though the food was identical. Part 5. The vicious sleep immunity cycle. Late-night eating doesn't just affect digestion, it destroys sleep quality, which in turn further weakens your immune system. Here's how it happens. Eating close to bedtime increases body temperature, delaying melatonin release. Disrupted sleep reduces immune cell regeneration. Weakened immunity increases vulnerability to viruses, allergies, and gut problems. You feel more tired the next day, crave sugar, and repeat the late eating cycle. In short, night eating leads to poor sleep, which weakens immunity, which increases inflammation, and so the cycle continues. Part 6. Night eating and metabolic disorders. Many people who eat late also struggle with slow metabolism, insulin resistance, weight gain, especially around the belly, fatigue and foggy brain, frequent colds or gut infections. That's not a coincidence. A study from the International Journal of Obesity showed that late eaters, after 8 p.m., had 34% slower fat metabolism, even when calorie intake was equal to early eaters. More importantly, their immune markers were chronically elevated, suggesting low-grade inflammation and suppressed defense mechanisms. Part 7. Emotional triggers behind night eating. Let's acknowledge something important. Night eating is often emotional, not physical. Many people eat late because they skip meals earlier in the day, use food as a reward or stress relief, feel isolated or bored at night, struggle with emotional eating patterns. This creates a habit loop. You delay nourishment during the day, then overeat at night when your body is least prepared for it. But this emotional habit quietly compromises your immune system. The good news is, once you understand the science and recognize the triggers, you can start shifting those habits gently. Part 8. Real-world case. Jason, the nighttime snacker. Jason is a 42-year-old father of 2 living in Denver. He works a demanding job, skips breakfast to save time, eats lunch around 2 o'clock p.m., and has dinner at 9 o'clock p.m. or later. He often snacks while catching up on TV or emails, sometimes chips, sometimes leftover pizza. He's not overweight, but he's constantly tired, gets colds every few months, and struggles with indigestion. After learning about meal timing, Jason experimented with eating his last meal by 7 p.m. and adding a small breakfast smoothie in the morning. Within 3 weeks, he noticed more energy in the morning, less bloating and better digestion, improved sleep quality, fewer sugar cravings at night. Jason didn't change his diet, just his timing. Part 9, Gentle Shifts Toward Better Night Habits. Here are small, practical ways to shift away from night eating. Set a kitchen curfew. Pick a time, like 7 or 8 p.m., after which you avoid heavy meals or snacks. Have a satisfying dinner. Make sure your dinner is balanced and filling, with protein, fiber, and healthy fats. This reduces late-night cravings. Reframe nighttime rituals. Replace food with other soothing routines, herbal tea, journaling, stretching, or a warm bath. Identify emotional eating patterns. Ask, am I truly hungry or just tired, bored, or stressed? Plan next day meals. Prepare or plan your breakfast and lunch so you're less likely to skip meals earlier in the day. Recap of Section 3. Night eating might feel innocent, but here's what the science shows. It suppresses melatonin, raises cortisol, and reduces immune cell activity. It disrupts gut repair and promotes leaky gut. It increases inflammation and blood sugar spikes. It weakens sleep, which further damages immunity. It often stems from skipped meals or emotional eating. The good news is that you don't need to be perfect, just aware. Shifting your last meal earlier, even by an hour or two, can create powerful improvements in your health and immune resilience. Coming up in Section 4, we'll dive into ideal meal timing for immune power, including science-backed guidelines for when to eat each meal, how long to fast between meals, and how to build an eating schedule that works with your life. Drop a comment. What's your biggest challenge with late-night eating? And if this video is helping you think differently about your health, don't forget to like and subscribe to Daily Energy. We're here to help you thrive, one habit at a time. Section 4. Ideal meal timing for immune power. When you eat can build or break your body's defenses. Here's how to time it right. We've talked a lot about the damage caused by irregular or late-night eating. Now, it's time for a more empowering conversation. How to structure your meals throughout the day to nourish and energize your immune system. This isn't about strict rules or trendy diets. It's about aligning your eating pattern with the way your body actually works, using your natural rhythms to your advantage. Just like sunlight helps set your sleep cycle, food acts as a powerful zeitgeber, time giver, that cues your internal organs to perform at their best. The timing of your meals influences digestion, metabolism, inflammation, and even how quickly you recover from illness. So what's the optimal daily eating pattern to protect and enhance immunity? That's what we'll explore in this section, with practical tips, science-backed principles, and flexible strategies for real life. Part 1. The golden window for eating. Research from chrononutrition and metabolic science suggests the body is most efficient at processing food between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. This 10-hour window aligns with higher insulin sensitivity, better blood sugar control, stronger digestive enzyme activity, more synchronized gut microbiota, active immune surveillance. When you eat during this window, your body can absorb nutrients more effectively, manage inflammation better, and avoid metabolic stress. Outside this window, especially after 8 p.m., your body is naturally winding down. Digestion slows. Cortisol drops. The immune system switches to repair mode. So your goal should be to eat most of your calories during this golden metabolic window and let your gut and immune system rest after dark. Part 2. The ideal timing for each meal. Let's break it down meal by meal. Breakfast. Between 7 o'clock, 9 a.m. Why it matters. This meal sets the tone for your blood sugar, energy, and immune activity for the entire day. Benefits of a well-timed breakfast. Stabilizes cortisol and stress response. Boosts T-cell function, immune defenders. Reduces cravings and overeating later. Supports gut microbiota diversity. Best components. High fiber carbs. Oats, berries, whole grain toast. Lean protein. Eggs, Greek yogurt, protein shake. Healthy fat, avocado, nuts, seeds. Pro tip: even if you're not a big breakfast eater, a light but balanced meal, like a smoothie or boiled eggs with fruit, can do wonders for your metabolism and immune readiness. Lunch. Between 12 o'clock, 1:30 p.m. Why it matters. This is when your digestive system is most active, making it the perfect time for your largest or most nutrient-dense meal. Benefits of a strong lunch: reduces stress hormones, improves nutrient absorption, stabilizes energy for the afternoon, lowers the risk of overeating at dinner. Best components: leafy greens and colorful veggies, lean proteins, chicken, tofu, lentils, whole grains or root vegetables, olive oil or avocado. Pro tip: avoid overly heavy, greasy lunches that can trigger a blood sugar crash and mid-afternoon fatigue. Dinner, between 5:30 and 7 o'clock p.m. Why it matters. As evening approaches, your body begins winding down. Eating dinner earlier allows your metabolism to finish its work before bedtime. Benefits of an early, lighter dinner: improves sleep quality, supports nighttime immune repair, reduces overnight inflammation, enhances insulin sensitivity the next morning. Best components: steamed or sautéed veggies, light protein, fish, beans, eggs, small portion of complex carbs, quinoa, sweet potato. Pro tip: if you're hungry later, opt for non-caloric herbal teas or a few nuts, not a full second meal. Part 3. How long should you wait between meals? Meal spacing is just as important as timing. Ideally, aim for 3 to 5 hours between meals to allow proper digestion, gut microbiota cycling, hormonal balance, stable blood sugar levels. Avoid constant grazing or snacking, especially on sugary foods. Each time you eat, your body switches out of immune and repair mode into digestion mode. If you're eating every hour, you're not giving your system the downtime it needs. If you feel hungry often, check if your main meals are unbalanced, low protein or fiber. You're actually thirsty or stressed, often mistaken for hunger. You've developed a snacking habit that's psychological, not physical. Part 4. The power of overnight fasting. The time between your last meal and your next breakfast is when your body does its deepest repair work. This fasting window gives your immune system the time and energy to eliminate damaged cells, balance gut bacteria, reduce systemic inflammation, reset hormonal rhythms. Most experts recommend a 12 to 14-hour overnight fast for immune support. That could look like: finish dinner by 7 o'clock p.m., eat breakfast at 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock a.m. the next day. This window is short enough to be sustainable and long enough to activate powerful healing pathways. A 2020 study in Cell Reports found that overnight fasting improved immune memory, reduced inflammation, and enhanced vaccine response in mice. Part 5. What if you work late or do shift work? Real life isn't perfect. You might have a night job, be a nurse, drive a truck, or simply work late. If you can't follow an early eating schedule every day, focus on consistency and compression. Consistency. Eat at the same times, even if your day starts at 4 p.m. The body adapts better to regular rhythms than chaos. Compression. Try to keep meals within an 8 to 10 hour window of your active hours. Avoid spreading food over 16 to 18 hours, which strains immunity. And even during night shifts, try to avoid heavy meals between 12 to 4 a.m. when your digestive system is naturally weakest. Instead, hydrate well and opt for small, light foods like bone broth, protein smoothies, or cooked veggies if needed. Part 6. How to start shifting your meal schedule. If you're currently eating late or skipping meals, don't overhaul everything overnight. Make gentle, progressive shifts like: Week 1. Eat breakfast within 1 hour of waking. Move dinner 30 minutes earlier. Week 2. Add protein and fiber to breakfast. Set a kitchen curfew by 8 o'clock p.m. Week 3. Begin a 12-hour overnight fast. 2 to 3 days per week. Reduce snacking between meals. These small actions accumulate and retrain your biological clock, improving immunity, digestion, and energy without the stress of extreme diets. Part 7. The Immune-Boosting Meal Schedule. Sample. Here's a sample day that supports your immune rhythm. Time meal notes. 7:30 a.m. Breakfast, oatmeal with flax seeds, berries, boiled egg. 12:30 p.m. Lunch. Quinoa salad with greens, chickpeas, olive oil. 5:45 p.m. Dinner. Steamed salmon, broccoli, sweet potato. 8 p.m. plus no food. Herbal tea only, kitchen closed. This schedule respects your circadian clock, promotes gut health, and gives your immune system time to regenerate overnight. Recap of Section 4. Let's bring it all together. Eat most of your food during daylight hours, especially between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. Front-load calories earlier in the day to support metabolism and immunity. Give your gut a nightly break with a 12-14-hour fast. Space meals by 3 to 5 hours to avoid immune overload. Shift gradually if your current schedule is very different. Consistency is key. You don't need to be rigid, just intentional. Every meal is an opportunity to send the right signals to your body. Coming up in Section 5, we'll focus on building a daily routine that heals, combining meal timing, stress management, movement, and sleep into a sustainable lifestyle that supports your immune system for the long haul. Let us know in the comments. What's your current meal schedule like, and what's one thing you could shift this week? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Daily Energy. We're here to help you transform daily habits into lifelong vitality. Section 5. Build a daily routine that heals how to sync nutrition, rest, and rhythm to strengthen your immune system for life. We've explored a lot so far. How the timing of your meals affects everything, from digestion to immunity, how late-night eating silently weakens your defenses, and the ideal windows for fueling your body. Now we arrive at the most important part: integration. Because at the end of the day, information only becomes transformation when it's applied consistently. This final section is all about real-life habits, building a daily rhythm that supports your immune system not just during cold and flu season, but as a lifestyle. No guilt, no overwhelm, just smart, science-backed daily actions that work with your body, not against it. Let's build a routine that heals. Part 1. Why daily routines matter for immunity. Your immune system isn't just a defense system, it's an adapting system. Every day it adjusts based on what and when you eat, how well you sleep, how much you move, how often you recover from stress, the consistency of your habits. The more predictable and nourishing your daily rhythm is, the more resilient your immunity becomes. Think of your daily routine as a rhythmic training plan for your immune system. You don't need perfection, you need consistency. Part 2. The 4 pillars of an immunity-friendly routine. Let's look at the 4 core areas to focus on. 1. Nutritional rhythm. As we explored in the last section, when you eat is just as important as what you eat. Key principles. Start eating early in the day. Space meals 3 to 5 hours apart. Finish dinner 2 to 3 hours before bed. Aim for 12 to 14 hours of overnight fasting. Prioritize whole anti-inflammatory foods, vegetables, berries, nuts, seeds, lean protein. Action tip. Set a recurring alarm to remind you when to begin and end your eating window. It can be as simple as start fueling by 8 a.m. Kitchen closed at 7 p.m. 2. Restorative sleep. Sleep is when your immune system does its most intensive repair and regulation. But poor sleep, especially from late eating, irregular schedules, or screen time, suppresses white blood cell production and raises inflammation. Key principles. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep nightly. Stick to a consistent sleep-wake time, even on weekends. Avoid food and screens after 1 to 2 hours before bed. Keep your room cool, dark, and quiet. Use magnesium-rich foods or herbal teas, chamomile, lemon balm, for better rest. Action tip. Create a bedtime wind-down ritual. reading, light stretching, or journaling. Give your body clear signals. It's time to shift into rest mode. 3. Movement and light exposure. Moderate daily movement strengthens immunity by improving circulation, stimulating lymphatic drainage, reducing stress hormones, enhancing sleep quality. Plus, morning sunlight exposure helps reset your circadian clock, making meal timing and sleep regulation easier. Key principles: get 15 to 30 minutes of sunlight in the morning. Walk, stretch, or move your body after each meal. Aim for 30 to 60 minutes of daily movement. Can be light. Avoid intense workouts close to bedtime. Action tip: after lunch or dinner, take a short walk. Even 10 minutes improves digestion and immune activity. 4. Stress recovery and emotional health. Chronic stress weakens the immune system, period. It elevates cortisol, disrupts gut health, promotes emotional eating, and alters your sleep and food timing. Key principles: build 1-2 short pause points into your day for breathwork, silence, or prayer. Use food as fuel, not emotional coping. Connect with loved ones. Even a 5-minute check-in supports emotional immunity. Keep a gratitude or reflection journal to reduce mental clutter. Action tip: before each meal, pause for 30 seconds to take 3 deep breaths. This lowers stress hormones and primes digestion. Part 3. Morning routine for immune resilience. Here's a sample morning routine that aligns with immune function. Time activity. Purpose 6:30 a.m. Wake plus sunlight reset body clock. 7:00 a.m. Light movement, walk, yoga. Stimulate lymph plus metabolism. 7:30 a.m. Nourishing breakfast. Fuel immunity early. 8:00 a.m. Breathwork plus intention lower cortisol. 9:00 a.m. Start work, energized, grounded. Start. This rhythm kickstarts your day with calm energy and immune alignment. Part 4. Evening routine for immune repair. Let's design a wind-down routine to support deep immune regeneration overnight. Time activity. Purpose 5:45 p.m. Light dinner. Avoid nighttime inflammation. 6:30 p.m. Gentle walk or stretch. Support digestion. 7:30 p.m. Limit screens plus blue light. Prepare for melatonin release. 8:30 p.m. Herbal tea plus journal. Emotional reset. 9:30 p.m. Sleep, immune, cell repair, and hormone reset. Even if your schedule is different, find your version of this calm evening rhythm. Part 5. Common challenges and how to adapt. Let's be real. Life is messy. Travel, kids, late meetings, or exhaustion can throw you off. That's okay. Here's how to stay flexible without abandoning your rhythm. Skipped breakfast? Just start with a light smoothie or boiled eggs the next day. No guilt. Late dinner one night? Push breakfast an hour later the next day and extend your overnight fast. Emotional eating spike? Identify the trigger with compassion. Reset the next meal with intention. The goal isn't perfection, it's resilience. Part 6. Real-life success, Maria's story. Maria, 36, is a school teacher in Chicago. She used to skip breakfast, eat late due to lesson prep, sleep poorly, get frequent colds and fatigue. After watching a video like this, she made 3 changes. Breakfast smoothie at 7:30 a.m. Dinner moved from 9 p.m. to 6:45 p.m. Short nightly journal with herbal tea. Within 1 month, her digestion improved. She slept more soundly. Her energy was steady. She avoided the usual spring flu. Maria didn't count calories or go on a cleanse. She just honored her body's rhythm. Part 7. Build your daily rhythm, custom template. Use this as a starting point to create your personal rhythm. Category My Plan Wake Time. First meal on AM. What? Lunch. PM. What? Dinner. PM does what? Last food. PM movement. Min da day to what? Wind down activities. Leap time. PM. Post this on your fridge or phone as a reminder. Small changes create lasting energy. Final recap. What we've learned across all 5 sections. Let's take a deep breath and review this journey. Meal timing deeply influences immune strength. Your body operates on a 24-hour rhythm. Honoring it improves digestion, energy, and resistance to illness. Late-night eating disrupts gut health, sleep, and immune repair. Early, consistent meals align with your metabolism and healing cycles. A daily routine that honors your natural rhythm is your best immunity defense. One last thought. You don't have to overhaul your life. You don't need to chase perfect wellness. You simply need to show up consistently for your body. Because healthcare is a daily journey. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. If this video resonated with you, please share it with your loved ones. Subscribe to Daily Energy to be part of a growing community that believes in practical, natural wellness. And comment below, what part of today's video are you excited to implement first? Together, let's make health feel natural again.